Department looking for a hit-and-run vehicle.
And what's changing about WCU's vaccine policy? Coming up next on Murrow News 8.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Danny Flynn.
And I'm Brinkley Hill. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Pullman police need your help finding the owner of a pickup truck who recently hit a vehicle and fled the scene. If you take a look at your screen, you can see the white four-door pickup that hit a parked car northeast Terraview Drive. If you have any tips or information to help police, you can call 509-334-0802. In Lewiston, the walking path under the Memorial Bridge is temporarily closed while police investigate what appeared to be this remains. This past Wednesday morning, an excavation crew found a skull and bones while working on the path and called it in to 911. Right now, it's unclear whether or not the remains are human, but police say this is an active investigation and more information will be released as it comes available.
WSU has announced that they will be lifting the requirement for students vaccinated against COVID-19 beginning this summer. This change comes after a recommendation from the WSU Infectious Disease and Public Health Advisory Committee due to COVID-19 causing less strain on the healthcare system since the end of 2022. According to the university, those affiliated with the WSU Health Sciences program will continue to follow their COVID-19 vaccine requirements.
Johnson Hall is still in progress with its demolition, which makes it also the largest demolition in WSU history. The $8 million project should be complete by March. We sent our reporter Austin Peppers in for further insight.
The demolition, which has made a lot of progress so far, is expected to make room for a new agricultural research building, which will be completely funded by the USDA.
The project will cover about 180,000 square feet and has been ongoing since August. Breaking news, Pullman Police announces that the formerly lost pup, Toby, has been reunited with his owner. Thank you to our incredible community for looking out and reporting sightings. It really does take a village.
After the break, an update on WSU's African American Student Center and how they are celebrating Black History Month.
And what free delicious event is tomorrow night in downtown P-Town? After this on Murrow News 8.
One in three adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker.
On your left.
Your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot. Your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
The month of February is Black History Month. Some WSU organizations on campus, such as the African American Student Center, are preparing for events to help celebrate and educate people on Black culture and customs. One of our reporters interviewed Student Ambassador Jolly Sabe at the African American Student Center to find out more about the events.
Food provided in the African American Student Center. We also have our orgs having events as well, so you guys should definitely check that out. Not many people know about it, so having a great support would be very beneficial for the center and also the students that are a part of the events.
For those who are interested in what Jolly shared, people can follow the AASC Instagram as well as the Black Student Union for date and times of the events. The only thing better than chocolate is free chocolate, and the Downtown Pullman Association's annual Chocolate Decadence is back this year. This map here shows several downtown businesses that will be handing out free chocolate tomorrow night from 5 to 8 p.m.
A nonprofit in Pullman is needed of volunteers to help people in crisis. Alternatives to the Violence of Palouse provided support to victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. The nonprofit offers crisis intervention, counseling, and shelter to community members in need. Volunteers would be asked to answer phone calls from those seeking one of these services. Volunteers are required 40 hours of training before starting, and the next training session begins February 13th. For more information, visit atvp.org.
The Rotary Club of Pullman is asking local organizations, schools, city government, or individuals to apply for a $1,500 grant for local improvement projects. Funding is through the Irving M. Field Grant Project for Community Enhancement, and applications are due March 23rd. For more information, visit www.pullmanrotary.org.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog meteorologist from Pennsylvania, we have 6 more weeks of winter. A large crowd was gathered outside his burrow in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, when he checked for his shadow. The Groundhog Club president, Tom Dunkel, translated these groundhog geese prediction into English for the crowd and the rest of the world to see.
And well, as far as I know, it's still cold outside, but we should send it to someone that really knows what's happening. Carrington, what you got for us?
Man, we're going to have a lot of crazy, I guess, just inconsistent weather. So number one, starting with today, we're going to have a high of 44 and a low of 34 with it being pretty much sunny the entire day. Sunrise will begin at 7:12 in the morning, and it will sunset at 4:53 p.m. With the wind, as you can tell today, it was pretty windy today with about 14 mile per hour winds. Moving on to tomorrow, we are going to have a high of 44 and also a low of 36, very similar to today. But it's going to be a lot more cloudy. It won't be as much sunshine, and it will continue to get cloudy as the day goes on, with it being pretty windy, about 12 miles per hour. So moving on to the state map, beginning on the west side, we're going to have the highs of 50s for both Olympia and Seattle, and about the 30s for those areas. And moving on to the other side, we're starting with Yakima. We are going to have starting at Yakima, we're going to have a high of 40 degrees and a low of 22. And moving on to Tri-Cities, a high of 41 and a low of 24. And for Pullman and Spokane, it will be pretty much sunny, with the average temperatures being around 40 degrees and the lows being around the 30s. Moving on to the 5-day forecast, starting with the beginning. Friday's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a high of 44, as I talked about. And we're going to have a lot more clouds going into the weekend, with some rain showers coming down Sunday. So moving on to Monday and Tuesday, it's just going to continue. More clouds and more rain. So make sure you have your raincoats on and make sure you stay dry. You don't want to slip and fall. But I'm going to send it back to the desk with Danny and Brinkley.
Thanks, Carrington. When we come back, a preview of tonight's WSU men's basketball game as they face off against USC.
And which senior Cougs are being recognized tomorrow night. All that and more coming up on Murrow News 8.
The Cougar basketball teams will be facing off against 2 Pac-12 opponents tonight and tomorrow night. The men's team will be flying down to the city of Angels to play Southern California tonight at 8 p.m. Meanwhile, the women prepare to take on Stanford tomorrow night here in Beasley Coliseum at 7 p.m. Both coaches.
Pro Bowl snub this year was easily Justin Herbert.
Stanford presents some unique challenges for us and have proven to be one of the very best teams in the country. Again, try to guard them to the point of keeping the game manageable and, hope that our offense is getting better and we have a chance to win the game.
Atmospheres aren't intimidating necessarily. There's more intimidating places in the league I just think there's, a lot of good talent in LA. These two teams have a lot of guys usually composed from LA and good.
The WSU track and field team has a new record holder. Freshman Mason Lawyer not only set a new PR time for himself on the 200-meter sprint, but broke a program record for freshmen with a time of 21.19 seconds at the New Mexico Team Open. The WSU swim team will be hosting the Vandals of Idaho tomorrow night at 5 p.m. for senior night. For Cougs senior swimmers Michaela Curtin and Rebecca Oviedo, this will be their final meet in the Crimson and Gray. Also being honored is Jewel Springer, who will be returning for a 5th season next year. The final senior being recognized is Michelle Von Ruyen, who had to medically retire and is now the current student assistant coach. The 2023 NFL Pro Bowl rosters were released earlier this week and received backlash from fans that thought some star players were snubbed. From the final lineup, I went out today to see what players students thought should have made the final cut.
Pro Bowl snub this year was easily Justin Herbert. Taylor Huntley made it over. He only played 6 games. I think Justin Herbert, easy pick for quarterback.
My Pro Bowl snub of the year would probably be Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver on the 49ers. I mean, he was a key part of their NFC Championship run, and I think he should be in.
My snub for the Pro Bowl has got to be Austin Eckler, #1 receiving back. Can't believe he didn't make it in there. So
my biggest Pro Bowl snub is because Tyler Huntley got in. I think that it should have been Mike White, because Mike White was balling out for the Jets before he got hurt.
It's got to be that one Watt brother. Forgot his first name.
JJ?
JJ, yeah. JJ Watt, right there.
Gotcha, there you go.
I think he's, like the definition of a snub in that he had a great season, but didn't get that recognition in the form of the Pro Bowl. So Justin Herbert's my pick.
Thanks, Alex. And there's been a lot of talk about the Pro Bowl not being taken that seriously anymore, but I still think that the players that are good enough deserve to make it. I mean, Jalen Waddle, he definitely should have made it.
He didn't make it.
He
That's
didn't make
wild
it.
to me.
It's insane.
He had a great season, and he should have been a Pro Bowl pick for sure.
Best dance in the league, obviously.
Now, I know we've talked about chocolate, but this National Day will make your stomach rumble.
Coming up next on Murrow News 8. Been a long day and I sure am hungry. Good thing today is a special day for little potato babies. It's National Tater Tot Day. Tater tots were invented in 1953 and in 2009 they were given their own national holiday. So potato lovers everywhere, make sure you go and enjoy some tater tots.
I, for one, seriously enjoy a good tater tot. And honestly, I mean, if the option's there to swap from fries to tater tots, I'm taking that every time.
All right, wait a second.
Time
out.
Okay, we got to simmer down.
Can
man.
we acknowledge that we call them potato babies? Like
Potato
no one
babies.
else.
I've never heard of
picked
that.
I think
I
it's
thought that was
iconic.
hilarious.
I really do.
Pretty
They're just little potato babies.
I mean,
All right, guys, what are they gonna do?
I like that.
I also have to say that potatoes are great, but I like French fries much better.
100%.
But thank you so much for watching. If you miss anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/mn8, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great night, Cougs.